Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be reviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-17 win versus the Atlanta Falcons in week number 13. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers move on to a 9-3 record, while the Atlanta Falcons fall to, I believe, a 5-7 record. This was a very interesting win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a lot of different ways, so let's just kind of go over what happened in this game. First things first was, as a bigger thing to talk about, the defense was a little iffy in the first half, especially the run defense. Cordero Patterson, Mike Davis, they got a lot done in the running game in that first half. And, the Buccaneers offense, they were still able to do some really, really good things, but we saw some, cracks in the armor of the Buccaneers' run defense in the first half. But thankfully, after that, adjustments were made. Everything was able to settle down, really, overall. And the Buccaneers' defense shut out the Falcons in the second half, which was great. The Buccaneers looked like a more complete team in the second half, definitely than they did in the first. The offense didn't have to do too much in the second half, and the defense stepped up when they needed to. So while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still working on kind of putting 4 complete quarters together, there was definitely some improvements in this game today, with adjustments being made, especially in the second half, by the Buccaneers defense. Let's talk about some stats. Tom Brady, 38 of 51, 368 receiving yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 passing interception. Guys, he was not sacked a single time today. In fact, to take it a step further, the Atlanta Falcons only had 1 quarterback hit today. That's insane. That's phenomenal. Tom Brady did a great job today. He looked, like prime Tom Brady. The offensive line did a great job today in keeping Tom Brady clean throughout the entirety of the game. There was the 1 interception that was a pick six by a Falcons defensive lineman to end the first half of play. That was a great play by the Falcons defensive lineman. I believe it's Marlon Davidson, something along those lines, I believe, is his name. So, you got to give him credit for that. That was a great play by the big man for the Falcons. But aside from that, 1 interception to end the first half, Brady was absolutely masterful in this game. Hands down, he is the game MVP because he looked great today. In the rushing attack, Leonard Fournette led the way with 13 carries for 44 yards. We didn't see much of anybody else in this game today. Chris Godwin had 1 rush for 9 yards, but aside from that, it was all Leonard Fournette. I wish they would have ran the ball more in the second half, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The passing attack was working throughout the entirety of the game, so I also don't blame the Bucs too much for passing as much as they did in this game. In the receiving game, it was insane. Chris Godwin, 17 targets, 15 receptions, 143 yards. I believe he now holds the franchise record for most receptions in a single game. If I'm wrong, you guys could let me know down in the comment section below. Chris Godwin looked elite today. He looked fantastic. He looked like the type of guy that you give a big long-term extension to, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to do. Chris Godwin was masterful today. Mike Evans, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 99 yards, was only 1 yard away of getting 100 receiving yards. Unfortunately, he was not able to get that today, but an overall really great Mike Evans day today. There was a couple of missed opportunities where Evans could have had even more yards, but hey, we'll take this type of game every single day of the week from Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. The Bucs' top 2 receiving, receivers, I guess I should say right now, certainly did their job today. Rob Gronkowski, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Gronk looked great. He did have 1 or 2 drops here or there, but he made the plays that he needed to make when they mattered most. Leonard Fournette, 8 targets today, 7 receptions, 48 yards, and a one-handed snag touchdown grab that was honestly probably one of the better catches I've seen from the Buccaneers in a good long while. He just absolutely stabbed it out of the air for the touchdown with one hand. It looked great. And aside from that, that was it in terms of the receiving game. Godwin, Evans, Gronkowski, and Fournette carried the way for this team. We saw a little bit of some guys like Rashad Perriman, Cam Brate. I can't forget him. He had 3 yards and a singular touchdown. I got to give him credit for that touchdown there. One guy who was missing from this whole equation was Scotty Miller. A lot of people asked, where is he? Why is he not out there on the football field? I couldn't give you an answer. I'm not sure. Maybe they wanted to keep him fresh because, well, in fact, he wasn't even a punt returner today as well. I don't know if something happened in regards to pregame warm-ups to where he wasn't able to play today. I'm not sure. But if there are any updates on Scotty Miller, I will make sure to talk about them in a video. On the defensive side of the football, now that we are pretty much done with the offensive side, Devin White, 10 total tackles today. He played really good. Antoine Winfield Jr., while he did have 10 total tackles, he did have a tackle for loss. He did have a pass deflection. There were some missed tackles in there as well today. You know, from Devin White, Antoine Winfield Jr., some of these other guys in there as well. There was some missed tackles that gave the Falcons a lot of good yardage throughout this game. That needs to get cleaned up. The basic fundamentals here in terms of tackling, that has got to improve. Andrew Adams, I got to give credit to Andrew Adams here. He came in filling in for, not just Jordan Whitehead, but also Mike Edwards. He finished this game with 7 total tackles. Overall, I thought he did a pretty decent job, and I was happy to see him out there making some plays. Pierre Desir, he had a great game today. He was filling in for an injured Jamel Dean, who did unfortunately go out with an injury. Again, if there are going to be any updates on that, I will make a video talking about that. But Pierre Desir came in, 5 total tackles, forced a fumble that was recovered by Carlton Davis. I'll get to him in a moment. I like Pierre Desir a lot. I honestly want the Buccaneers to re-sign him once the season is done because I feel like he does provide some really, really quality veteran depth. So we'll see what the Buccaneers end up, wanting to do with him. Will Golston, 5 tackles, 2 quarterback hits. Ndamukong Suh, 4 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. This was one of the better Ndamukong Suh games that he has had since he has become a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He looked phenomenal today. Shaq Barrett had a quarterback hit. Vita Vea, 2 total tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 quarterback hits as well. This is one of Vita Vea's better pass rushing games we have ever seen from him as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Cam Gill, 2 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit. Guys, and then Anthony Nelson had a quarterback hit as well today. Guys, at the end of the day, the Buccaneers pass rush had 5 total sacks, 11 total quarterback hits on the day. I mean, the pass rush looked great today. And it wasn't even guys like Shaq Barrett, like Jason Pierre-Paul, like Joe Tryon who were getting that pressure. It was rotational guys like Cam Gill, like Anthony Nelson, and guys along the defensive line. Suh, Vita Vea, these guys were all making plays. Will Golston. It was really encouraging to see because it shows that the Buccaneers can get pass rush in a variety of ways. And I think that was a very, very encouraging thing to see. Now I want to talk about Carlton Davis. He came back from injury today and he did get dinged up. All 3 of these Buccaneers cornerbacks did get hurt in this game in one way or another. I don't have any update on Sean Murphy-Bunting as well either. He did go down with an injury. Again, if there is an update, I'll provide one when there is one. But Carlton Davis today, hey, you know what? I think he looked good in his return. 3 total tackles, 3 passes defended, almost had an interception or 2 in this game. Unfortunately, couldn't come down with it. I think he looked good in his return. I'm happy to have him back. I know everybody's probably happy to have Carlton Davis back, and it looked good. Finally, guys, just one thing I want to bring up. Ryan Suckup, he made his field goal. He made 3 out of his 4 extra points today. Overall, I don't think it is a big thing to worry about at the end of the day. He made, most of his kicks, which I think is a good thing. Bradley Pinion, 3 punts today, 2 inside the 20. Bradley Pinion had a great day today. A long of 60 yards for a punt. It just seemed like this team, really in the second half. In the first half, it was mostly all offense, right? And the defense was a little bit porous. But in the second half, it seemed like the offense was able to kind of take a step back. The defense and special teams were able to get a lot of work done, shut out the Falcons in the second half, which isn't always an easy thing to do, and play like a more complete team. Yes, there are certainly things that could have been corrected. I'm sure there are things that will be corrected. Tackling's a big thing. But overall, the Buccaneers did a lot of what they needed to do to win today. And one big thing I want to point out here too is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finished this game with only 3 penalties for 15 yards. And one of them was questionable on Anthony Nelson. So this looked like an improvement of a game for me. You also got to remember that if that pick six didn't happen, the score would have been 30-10 at least. You know, you never know what would have happened for the remainder of the game after that. I think the offense looked really good throughout this game. The defense turned it on in the second half and shut out the Falcons, and the special teams did good as well. This was a more complete, win than what we've seen from the Bucs in recent weeks, and I think that is a great thing. So overall, I think it was a very, very solid team win for the Bucs here. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts about this game down in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this game. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.